This week, a judge in Florida slapped Republican Representative Cory Mills with a restraining order for allegedly harassing his ex-girlfriend, who also happens to be the current reigning Miss United States. And the whole story is so much weirder than just that. This scumbag, Cory Mills, is absolutely one of the worst human beings I think I've ever had to report on. Let me read you. This is from Mediaite. This is just all of the things that have happened with Mills to put his name in the headlines over this past year. He has found his name in a slew of negative headlines over the past year, including multiple on-the-record stolen valor accusations from soldiers who served with him in combat, a House Ethics Committee investigation into his business dealings and financial disclosures, a report that he was being evicted from his D.C. penthouse apartment after his landlord accused him of owing $85,000, an accusation in February from 27-year-old Sarah Raviani that he had assaulted her at that D.C. apartment, and then, of course, in September, Lindsay Langston, the current reigning Miss United States and a Florida GOP state committee woman, filed a restraining order petition against Mills. So the story's even weirder, right? He gets the domestic violence charge filed against him by Raviani. And at the time, he was also dating Langston. So Langston finds out about this through the news. She's like, wait, what the hell? That's my boyfriend. And he's living with this other woman and allegedly beat the hell out of her. Now, she ended up recanting her story and the charges were dropped, even though the cops did document fresh bruises on her when she initially filed the complaint and they came to the apartment. So there was potentially evidence. She at least was bruised by something, but she later did not press charges. So he got away with that, but he didn't get away with cheating on his girlfriend. So that's why she broke up with him. And then, according to the petition for a restraining order, she says she broke up with him after learning he was in a relationship with Raviani, but he continued to aggressively pursue and harass her for months, ignoring her repeated rejections and requests to leave her alone. According to Langston, the threats from Cory intensified over time and included emotional manipulation, physical violence against whoever I date in the future, and threats to release nude images and sexually explicit videos of her, which would violate the Miss United States pageant's code of conduct and jeopardize her crown. Now, when Mills had to go in front of the judge in Florida to explain, like, hey, no, none of this happened, he was like, I deleted all that stuff, and I also broke my phone, so I couldn't even access it if I wanted to. And the judge said, I don't believe a word you're saying. This is a sitting United States congressman. And the judge was like, you're full of crap, dude. Let me read you this. During the 2 days of testimony, Mills denied threatening Langston or her potential future partners, claimed he had deleted any compromising videos of her, and claimed he couldn't access them anyway because his phone was damaged. The judge did not find Mills believable, describing the congressman's testimony about his relationship with Langston as, quote, difficult to comprehend and, for the most part, incomprehensible, and added that Mills, quote, offered no credible rebuttal. The judge wrote in the order that Mills never told the truth to Langston concerning his relationship with Raviani until he was placed under oath in this matter and underwent a vigorous cross-examination on September 26th, including being confronted with social media postings made by Raviani. So he's got a restraining order against him now. You can't contact her on social media. You can't be within so many feet of her. And of course, the restraining order is going to be in effect until January 1st. So you would think, right, that Republicans in Congress would be like, holy hell, we got another scumbag in our midst. We got to do something about it. But oh no, not these Republicans, because at this point, they can't afford to lose a single member. So Mike Johnson was asked about these, allegations against him, the restraining order, on Wednesday, and here's what Mike Johnson said. I have not heard or looked into the details of that. I've been a little busy. We have a House Ethics Committee. If it warrants that, I'm sure they'll look into that. Look, you have to ask Representative Mills about that. I mean, he's been a faithful colleague here. I know his work on the Hill. I mean, I don't know all the details of all the individual allegations and what he's doing in his outside life. You have to ask him about that. Let's talk about things that are really serious. How about you have a member of your caucus that might be a little psychotic? That seems kind of serious. The judge said the threats that he made were in fact made. Okay? Those are threats that a psycho would make. And if, of course, he did, which again, he was never charged, obviously not prosecuted because of that. If he did beat the hell out of his other girlfriend, also psychotic. But again, because that one was not charged and prosecuted, we cannot go down that path. But the messages alone seem to be a little psychotic. So you're going to tell me that that's not a serious matter, Mike Johnson? You're going to dismiss it just like you guys have dismissed the racist messages from the Young Republicans group chat? This is your party. This is who you are. You're racist, woman-hating, woman-beating, misogynistic, controlling psychopaths. That is who you guys are now. And you're going to act like, nope, that's no big deal. Well, that says a lot about your character as well, Mike Johnson. Thanks for watching, everyone. You know, we're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.